Thank you, Larry. And thank you, Unico. Thank you. Okay, I've been waiting all night for this moment, so let's get on with the show. I thank you, Larry, and I thank Unico. You've been great friends to me and a really good way to give back. It was 1975 when my sister won a National Unico Scholarship, and I was very, very young, and I said, someday I want to be part of this organization. And here it is almost 40 years later, and I'm here, and it's in Montville, and I'm so thankful for that. So thank you to all my Unico friends. So, about the Gloria Foundation. I started the Gloria Foundation in memory of my mother, Gloria. And when I started it, I thought I was going to be putting all my expertise together. I was going to throw parties, and I was going to raise money, and I was going to give it to domestic violence organizations. And it really wasn't all that easy. I opened Design Consign, and as I worked there, women would walk in, they would have teeth knocked out, and they would say, thank you for doing this. I got out of my situation. Thank you so much for doing this. Then I would get the family member of someone who didn't get out of the situation, and they would say, thank you for doing this. And then I would get the girl who is bruised and crying and saying, where do I go for help? Thank you so much. Please tell me where to go. We turn them over to Jersey Battered Women's Services. So it's been quite more emotional than I expected. I thought it was going to be all fun and all doing good, but it's been a really heavy, heavy thing on my heart. So there's a lot of need out there. Domestic violence has gotten a lot more recognition in the last 6 months between Ray Rice and the NFL and the NASCAR guy. I don't remember his name. I wrote it down, but I can't see what I'm looking at. And even the Academy Awards and the Grammys, everyone's talking about domestic violence. But you know what? We're all still in the dark. No one really knows the depth of what goes on out there. It's happening right here in Montville, and maybe right next door, or maybe in our own home, so we don't even know it. Domestic violence is the need to control another person, and they do it by threats and by fear and by violence in a lot of cases. So, you know, it's hard to recognize. It's something that women don't want to talk about because they're embarrassed that they can be in that situation. And, you know, you just have to keep your eyes open, and you can kind of see the signs and turn them over to someone who really knows what they're doing, like Jersey Battered Women's Services. So I was going to tell you a couple of stories. One is not such a good story. A friend of mine called me a few months back, and she said, Karen, we can't get in touch with my niece. My niece's husband, who she was married to for a short time, and he just kind of controlled her into moving to Atlanta, Georgia, and she had a baby down there, and it was about, I guess he was about 18 months old, and they couldn't contact this girl. So they sent the police there. And unfortunately, the husband, who no one knew, but he was abusing her and she was trying to get away, he shot her, the 18-month-old, and himself. So it's right here. This is a person from Montville. And then there's the success stories. There's the girls who have found Jersey Battered Women's Services and other organizations that help, and they get out of it and they go on to have successful lives, get college degrees, and take care of themselves. So that's the goal of the Gloria Foundation. We want to help those organizations to help these women who feel like there's nowhere to run and that no one's going to understand and no one's going to listen and people are going to look down on them because their self-esteem is already so low. So that's why I started the Gloria Foundation, but it really means a lot more to me now that I see it firsthand. We support the shelters, and I've been in those shelters. They're I want to say sad, but they're not, because the people there are finding help, they're getting the support that they need, and they're getting out of the situation. But there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of people that can't get into shelters because there's not enough of them. So in this room, there's many, many, many people who've been given many, many, many blessings, and you can all help. I mean, we could take monetary donations, we can take contributions to the consignment shop that we sell and we use. The money all goes to the organizations, and there's really a lot a lot that can be done, and we really have the means to do it. So, you know, it's a call for everyone to get up and get out of their comfort zone and reach a significant goal, do something for people who really can't help themselves. So enough about that. I want to thank a lot of people. First of all, Unico. I already told you all about that. I want to thank my family and my friends, a lot of who are here tonight. They've all chipped in with volunteering and donating and just spreading the word about what we're doing. My employees at the back table there, a bunch of them are here, White House. Without them, I couldn't do half of what I do because I know my stores are in good hands and I can do all the other stuff. So I thank you very much. I want to thank my sons, Dennis and Zach. I'm very happy that they treat women well, they respect them and value them, and I would expect nothing less of my own sons. My nieces and friends over there, I just say to you, please always be able to take care of yourself. Never feel like you need someone else to support you. Do what you have to do to be happy, and then share that great life with someone else. And I don't know if I forgot anybody. Let me check my notes.
Can't see them.
I just have a quick story. For those of you who didn't know my mother, Gloria, a lot of people in this room did know my mother, Gloria. My cousin here, my cousin Janet, she decided my mother loved roses, and our logo for our foundation is a rose, and it's a purple rose because my mother loved roses, but purple is the color of domestic violence awareness. So my cousin said, you know, if my mom was here, she would have wanted to give me roses. So she bought more than a dozen roses, and she said to my mom in heaven, she said, Aunt Gloria, I'm getting Karen roses. You'd be so proud of her. And she turns around and looks on the floor, and there's a $20 bill. So my mother, who never took anything from anybody, bought me the roses. And I thank you, Janet. I thank everyone in this room. I appreciate it. And we need your support. So come on up.